faith. Believe in your source and that you are no mistake. Stand by your words, never over-expect.
Hey y'all, welcome to episode 4. Today we'll be talking about threshold of a new reality. Welcome to the promised land. So have you ever been through a moment where you felt like you were like right at the threshold of something new? The breakthrough of the new beginnings, and how did you feel in that moment? Just ponder on that for a second. Yo, get it together. You was like, yo.
I didn't think he was going straight into it. I thought you was gonna say something else before we got into it. That's all. It's like, oh, let me gather my thoughts.
So what if you are at the moment of a breakthrough, at like crossing over into something new? How would you feel about that? What do you think it would take for you to get to that new reality that you've been waiting to see? And what are some of the things that could hold you back from breaking through the threshold? Do you even know what a threshold is?
Yeah, tell them what a threshold is.
Okay, don't worry. So we'll explain what a threshold is. So a threshold is the point of entry into a new state. So, you know, new era, new timeline, a new state. It's a new experience or a new reality. It symbolizes transition. You're leaving behind what was familiar and you're stepping into what is possible. Mm-hmm. We all know with man, you are limited, but with God, there are no limits. The limits are off. So if you are partnering with God in this season, then you have to know that your threshold can enter into any type of dimension. Like you can go to the next level because he has no limits on what he can do for you. So you have to be prepared for what you are getting ready to walk into. So the reason why we put the promised land on there as a metaphor is it represents dreams fulfilled, alignment with purpose and abundance, not just material, but spiritual, mental, and emotional. The modern interpretation is that the next level in business, in life, or relationships you've been preparing for. Mm-hmm. And this kind of falls in from everything we were talking about before when we said you had to be grounded in your identity and who you are in God, because that is going to be so important for you when you reach this next level. When you do walk into the promised land, it is so important that you know your identity so you won't be thrown off track from what God is putting you into. The threshold is so important because it's like the part between where you were and where you're going. So it's like sometimes it can be a barrier there that's stopping you from entering into the next level or your new state. So why do you think people struggle at the threshold?
I would say, I think people struggle at the threshold because sometimes once you get to that point, it's easy. People feel like it's easy to resort back to they get comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And being comfortable to where like one bad thing can change your mindset on something, or something can happen and then boom, there you go. You're back to feeling comfortable, or you're back going to those old habits that you tried to deter away from. But it just seems like it was just so easy to riddle, you know what I'm saying? Like riddle you in to where like you're not even thinking straight.
Yep.
When you feel like, you know, you're on the right path, somehow, some way, you're either surrounded by the wrong people or you're surrounded by the people that God had already put out of your life, and something can transpire to where they may need you in a season and you feel like you have to be or show up for individuals or show up for that job or show up for something. You feel like you have to go back to that lifestyle or that certain way.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of people get stuck in familiarity, and that can create cycles and keep you in the same thing over and over again. We have fear of the unknown, not knowing what's going to come in that new reality, because you, like she said, you get so comfortable in what you already know. When you are comfortable, you get stagnant, and God is a forever moving God. So if he's a forever moving God, we must be forever moving as well, be forever changing, like a circle, infinite. You know, it keeps going and going. We keep upgrading, we keep growing, we keep evolving. And so when we get comfortable in something, we can stay in something for too long, and we can stay in something that we're not even supposed to be in, and it get us off track of where we're supposed to go because we're just comfortable there. Another thing is your old you is trying to survive. It's trying to keep you there. It'll bring up old things, old thoughts, old habits, and you'll continue to stay in that same pattern over and over and over again. Again, a cycle. It's just keeping you in the same cycle. And then you can have a lack of clarity of the strategy that you have to go forward. If you don't know what you're doing, if you are not rooted in Christ and your identity and the purpose that he has for your life, then you will have a lack of clarity on where you were supposed to go. You have to have clarity. God does not move in chaos. He's
not the author of confusion.
Yes, he is a structured God. Like he has things, he is in order. Everything is in order when it comes to him, and it makes sense. You know, it might not make sense to us at first, but it always makes sense to him. He has the bigger picture. So that's very, very important. So what do you think some signs are that you are at the threshold?
I would say when you feel like your life is just, I don't want to say chaos, but chaos. And what I mean by chaos, it's not always necessarily like negativity. It's just when, again, life do be life.
Yes.
But God be got into, it just seems like when things just consistently just keep happening to where like, you could have a bad day or something, or, you know, something that you was hoping to have an outcome of, you know, end up coming out a whole different way. Or where it just seems like consistently, like it's just constant, like different trials and tribulations to where you feel like, okay, God, like there's no reason why I'm going through all of this right here, right now, and my greater is not on the other side. It's not that it's not on the other side. It is on the other side. It's just that God is preparing you. And I feel like I've said this before on the other episode. I can't remember which one it was, but God's not going to give you something that you're not ready for.
Absolutely.
And so he has to mold us and shape us for our new season so that way we can walk into it comfortably. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's like we have to go through turmoil. Like we have to go through warfares. We have to go through different things just to get to our breaking point. And when that breaking point comes, it's just like, boom, like everything that you prayed for is already here. It's not the way that you thought it was going to happen, but it happened on a, you know, like a whole different way. So
absolutely. So some of them, like what she was saying, is doors closing. It can feel like so many things are closing in your life, or people, relationships are ending, opportunities you feel like you may have missed. And just because the door is closed don't mean that that's the end for you. That could just mean that was not meant for you. So doors closing on old situations, habits, relationships, opportunities are showing up, but they require a bigger version of you, which means you have to show up in your full self, in your full identity, and you have to be rooted. Absolutely. And you have to be rooted in that, and you have to know who you are, and you have to step in rooms that you've never been in before and know that you are supposed to be there. You have to know, it has to be a knowing in you that you know you're supposed to be there. Even if it feels like those rooms are bigger than you, you have to know that you have been ordained to sit there, to be there, and you are called there for a reason. And so you also may feel uncomfortable where you are, but stepping forward feels so scary because, again, the unknown to us, I don't know about you, but anytime I'm going through something and I really don't know what it looks like on the other side, sometimes I can, in my flesh, I'll feel worried or I'll get anxiety because I don't really know what I'm walking into. But you just have to trust that God is putting you in a place that you have all the tools that you need to get there. Yeah. Like we said in all of the other videos, like when you're going through the process, when you're in the journey, you are learning everything you need for those moments that are coming up.
Yeah, it's like you feel it. Like most of you definitely feel it. But even in that, like in the midst of like we talked about before in the waiting and outside of that, it's just like it can feel like things isn't happening or transitioning, but things are transitioning, like things are shifting for your good. And sometimes like you really, I don't want to have to say like you have to isolate yourself at all, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do to keep your mind and your heart guarded. I know for me, like in this season, I know for sure, like I have to, I'm not going to say isolate, but I have to be in a season to where like I'm by myself, like guarding myself, like guarding my life with the word, like really being intentional and continuously being intentional with my word for this season. So that way, like I'm already in the process of, you know, my breakthrough, but it's just, I know there's things that I'm still praying for and I'm still, you know, seeking God to do. But in order for that, of course, obedience plays a big part. Remaining obedient, but also have to being intentional in your word to where like you can't feel defeated because something don't go your way. So it's just like you have to keep your mind and your heart guarded with the sword, which is the Bible.
Absolutely. I really wanted to talk about this topic today because all last week it felt like everything was like moving so fast, like in life, like everything was moving fast. And it was just one day I was in the bed and I was like, threshold. Like it was like God put that word in my head, like threshold. And I was like, what? I really didn't know what it meant like that. So I just looked it up. What does threshold mean? And it was like the beginning of a like breaking through. And I was like, like breaking through a barrier almost. So I was like, okay, all right. So I was like, I know that we have, like most people, I don't know if y'all feel the same way, if you had any experience like that, but I know that we have gone through a shift, right? And in this shift, it feels like everything, like when you look out here, what you can actually see, it feels like everything looks the same. But literally, in the spiritual realm, nothing is the same.
It's completely different.
But right now, it just feels like everything around me is the same. But I know, it's like a knowing that everything shifted in a moment, in like a blink. It was like it leaped and shifted, like a quantum leap, literally. And everything shifted. And I was like, okay, we have officially shifted. And we are at the threshold. So what's over there? Like, what's next? And right now in life, it feels like I have to slow down. And I gotta process, because in the spirit, everything is moving. Like, I don't even know how to explain it for people to understand right now, like in the physical, but in the spirit, things are really moving, like on so many different levels. And here it looks like it's slow, like everything's the same, but I promise you, everything has shifted. It's a whole new reality. And we are literally at the threshold of something so new, and we are getting ready to break through it. And it feels like it's barriers, and it's gonna feel like things are coming up against us, but we're here. We're at the, and I wanted us to know that we are at the threshold of our promised land, the things that we've been waiting for, the things we've been hoping for. We're literally like right there. And it's like, it's kind of gonna be up to us as a people to do what is necessary to get through that last little threshold, break through, because it's gonna be things at the threshold that does not want you to get through. Barriers there on purpose though, because once you break through the threshold, you are at the brink of like creating something. You're breaking curses and generational curses, and you are literally starting something new. And so I felt in my spirit that people needed to know that we are here, and that even though it feels hard, you got to keep pressing. Like, you have to keep pressing, because you are literally right there. And if you turn back now, you're going to miss it. Like, you're going to miss the mark. And I hate for people to get right there. Like, you've been working so hard for this and that, and you get right there and you just miss it. You miss it because you're tired, because you feel like it's too hard to do. But I promise you, it's not too hard. You just got to face it and keep going, regardless of what it looks like. So, how do you think people are able to cross the threshold? Like, what are some techniques we can give them that could help them maybe get past those barriers or strongholds that they have that are like keeping them right there on the line?
I would have to say, like I said before, really being guarded with the sword, which is the Bible. Being real intent and just focus on, put your mind on that one goal or those things that you're trying to get to, and focus on, you know, working hard to get to that place. Eliminate all distractions. Always find like a certain outlet that helps you release to where you can focus on like what's ahead, to where you can just strictly focus on your goals. I would say having an outlet really helps for sure. When it comes to strongholds, I would say definitely, you know, be mindful of the company you keep or what you surround yourself by, what you listen to or what you watch, pretty much like what you feed into your spirit. Because sometimes you can see something and even like the enemy can show up in any shape, size, or form for real. Anybody, any TV show, anything. So you have to be mindful and you really have to be intentional. Whether that's even fasting for a couple of days, that's between you and God. But I promise you, like when you do those things, then what you need will literally be on the other side. You won't even be worried about like what you just let go of or those barriers, because you can break the barriers. And granted, it is hard, but if you want to be delivered from something, then you have to do the work. And what I mean by doing the work is you have to be intentional. You really have to be intentional in any and everything. And you can't let any influencers influence you.
Yeah, like social media and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That too can be play a major part.
That's a huge part, yeah. I was thinking about taking a break from social media, like for my personal page.
Absolutely.
And just straight, you know, work on the business page.
Sometimes it's important just to separate yourself and clear your mind out from all of that.
And I mean, if you feel like you gotta separate yourself from the world, I always say, like, people be joking and laughing and be like, my phone be on D&D like the whole day. It really do sometimes, majority of the time. Only because it's just like, I be having to take a break from the world or just from people. But if you feel like that's what you need to do when you're fasting, then I mean, now I ain't gonna say D&D. At least have somebody to call and check on you.
Yeah.
Good. But
don't disappear
off the word. But have the people that you can truly confide in, that will uplift you and, you know, pray with you on your journey as you're fasting. Or have a group of like, you know, certain people, a group that you confide in, and how about y'all fast together? Like, don't make it just a you thing. If it's however, that's between you and God. If God tells you that, you know, that's what you need to do by yourself, then do it. But if you feel like you need to have those people that you confide in, then fast. Y'all fast together. And then whatever you decide to fast from, just watch what God does.
Yes. And you also need to a practical step would be to shift your mindset. I don't know how big most of you are on affirmations, but I love affirmations. Those are my like go-to. I'm an affirmation girly. So you can affirm, if I wasn't ready, the door wouldn't be here. Like, you can affirm different things. Or you can say, I am a child of God. I am chosen. I am ready for this. I am prepared for this. Like, affirm these things instead of saying, oh, I'm tired. I can't do this. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this. No, affirm the other way. No, I'm ready for this. I was prepared for this. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Affirm. Change your mindset. You have to shift your mindset. That's going to be the first thing.
Literally say yourself, you can do it.
Absolutely. And then you're going to have to adopt a faith-forward strategy. So you're going to have a purpose-driven mindset. You're going to have to know what your purpose is and why you are doing it. Why are you doing this? Why are you here? Then you need some practical steps would be to get clear on your vision. So what is your promised land? Everybody has a different promised land. We don't all have the same promised land. Yeah. There are things you've been waiting on. There's things somebody else been waiting on. So what is your promised land? Get clear on the vision. That's in Habakkuk. What's the scripture? You know what I'm talking about? Write the vision, make it plain. Yes. Vision is important. You have to identify the vision, know what it is, write it down, make it plain. Then prepare for expansion. What kind of skills, habits, environments do you need to be in? Who do you need to be showing up as? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Then you need to detach from the old version of yourself. Stop replaying who you used to be, who you used to hang around, what you used to do. Who cares? That's not you no more. Now we stepping into the new version. What are your new habits? What do you do every day? How do you wake up? What's your routine? Do you work out? Do you wake up in the morning? Do you do a skincare routine? Do you wake up? Do you read? Do you go to sleep? Do you read? What do you do? Do you work out during the day? What is your routine? What are you doing? Then you need to surround yourself with visionaries. You need to have a community, mentors, people that can help you develop what you have inside of you, that can push you to the next level. And I'm telling you this, but I need one too. I don't have one.
Yeah.
Mentors are very important because they already are in that mindset. They already in that mindset. And so you can learn from them and adapt the things that they know. And you can implement that into what you are trying to do in your life. So community accelerates growth. You need to get relationships.
A strong community. And it was Habakkuk 2 and 2.
Yeah, Habakkuk 2 and 2. That's the one. And then lastly, you're going to take the first small step boldly. So whatever small step that is, just take it. A lot of times we like to postpone. We like to procrastinate because we feel deep down that we can't do it. I used to be the same way. It took me forever to get in front of the camera. Literally, it took me forever because I was like, yo, I don't like talking in front of the camera. I'm an introvert. I don't want to talk to people. But God put a fire in me that I had to talk to people. Like, I had to get whatever I had inside of me out. So I have to get in front of the camera. Like, I don't want to. I don't like to. I like to be in the background. But I had to get in front of the camera. So you have to take the first small step, even if it's scary. And you'll start to get better and better as you do it. But you have to start somewhere. If you never start, you will never know where you could get, like your possibilities. And it's so endless for you if you do begin, but you have to start. And you got to get over the fear. The fear is not even really real. It's just something that has been ingrained in you. But it's not real. Like, you have the ability to do the things that you want to do. You just have to believe it. The belief is everything. And so
you don't like being in front of the camera?
No, absolutely not. Especially in the beginning, girl. I'll show you my old videos. My old videos, girl, I showed one of my friends. They was like, why you look so scared?
When y'all see the faces that I made when she said that, just know.
Girl, because listen, I'm telling you, y'all, before, like, I've been in front of the camera a lot now.
She
like,
talk to the people now.
Now I'm going to talk to y'all. Like,
she's not even shy.
I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to say, because I've been there. I've been the girl who hated to look in the mirror. I was sick. I was tired. I done been that girl.
We all have that.
Yeah, so it's like now.
I can't look at myself in the mirror.
Yeah, if I can push you, like, if I needed to be pushed, if I can push you to, like, come on, baby, let's go. Like, ain't nobody waiting. Let's go. We doing this. So that's where I'm at now.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Get up, girl. You done been laying on that couch too long. It's time to go. We got things to do.
Off the road.
Huh?
Off the road.
No. The robe is my bestie. All right, so do you have, let's see, are there any thresholds you are standing at right now? Anything you are standing at waiting to
I feel
break
like honestly, I feel like I can say this for everyone, like, financially.
Okay.
Like, we're all there,
yeah,
but we could really be there for real. You know what I'm saying?
What's some of the things that are that you think are holding you back from, like, because you know we grow up as, you know, we used to our parents and them, and that they are a certain way with money. But if we're honest, in our generation, and in their generation, we've never seen somebody in a complete overflow of finances to the point where nobody's worrying.
Yeah, I would say I mean, I would say I used to be real careless with money, but I think the biggest setback, honestly, that I had was when I had my heart surgery. And I wasn't really working like that. Like, my body was still getting accustomed to having a pacemaker. My body, you know, had its highs and lows because I also had endometriosis. So it was like I was battling with those two things at the same time. I was just really going through, so I couldn't really work like that. And I feel like, I believe I said this before, that was definitely my season where God literally had to sit me down and in order for me to really walk into my purpose. Because before, like, when I tell you the money that I wish I was making before I got sick, I just wish I would have held on to it or invested it and really saved it, because I would not have to worry about anything right now. I'll probably be so much debt free when it comes to different, like, a lot of stuff. But I was so careless with my money. And growing up, I'll never forget, like, my Nana, she always used to tell me, you need to save your money. You need to save your money. I ain't always going to be here. You need to save your money. And every time, as my adult age now, and like, I just be sitting there thinking, like, dang, yo, like, Sheila was right for real. I wish I was, she warned me to me, because she knew I was careless with money. I felt like I was spoiled, so, I mean, I had to worry about it. Like, I get it, but nah, I would just say that. And, but really, I'm now in a position to where, like, now, and I had my heart surgery 3 years ago, to where I can say that, like, I'm financially stable, but there's a lot more that can happen, that can go, that I could really work on. You know, I've learned how to be very in controlling of my funds, you know, so work in progress, because I like nice things. And sometimes, you know, I had to learn how to sacrifice, you know, when it comes to certain things. And I mean, honestly, that's anybody. I feel like that's not just me. But that's one thing. And then I would say me really walking into my purpose and fully walking into my purpose. Like, I know what my purpose is. I'm walking in it and I'm doing it. But at the same time, I know that I'm called to do certain things, and right now in my life is just like, that's where I know that I have to really, like, just, I don't want to say deter away, but I know that now is the time to where me and God really just have to have a lock in moment. And it's like, I'm there, but I know God is really pushing me further and further and further into what I'm called to do. And so I would just say those are really the things, like, where I am. I feel like I already broke the barriers that needed to be broken, and I've accomplished so much. But it's really in the process of me now to where, like, I'm on a healing journey and I'm healed. You know, let me shift my language. I am healed. But it's just like me fully walking into it. I know that I'm going to have to do things that God has called me to do, to where, like, I don't want to say that I'm uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable doing it, but it's just like I have to be comfortable doing it, and also have those what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say boundaries, but also know, like, what God has called me to do. I have to just pretty much fully walk into it,
right?
And not look back for it.
I would say my barrier to the threshold can a lot of times be me, my own self. I am my own whole backer. And I know that ain't a word, but listen, I am that person. I'm my own whole backer. I hold myself back.
Backer is crazy. That's the best you could think of.
Yes. Because listen, I have done this over. I sit back and I think, okay, you've done this. And it's not me being hard, it's me being honest with myself. Why have I not reached this milestone yet? It's like, okay, Christina, because you have not done this and been consistent. You have not done this and because this is me and God talking too. I done told you 10 times to do this and you ain't did it yet. And I'm like, I know, God, but it's like, okay, so Christina, why are you not doing it?
But that's with anybody too, though.
Yeah, I'm like, why haven't you shifted into that yet? Are you scared of who you could be? I think a lot of times we are scared of who we could become and how different we're going to be, because who we have to be that person is not going to be who we are now. We're going to literally have to shift everything about us. and step into that new version of ourselves. And I think a lot of times that's what scares us away. And we be like, nah, I'm gonna just stay right here because this is, this cool. I shifted a little bit, but let me just stay right here for a little bit. And God like, no, I need you to keep moving. Mm-hmm. You've already done enough there. I need you to move. And so a lot of times I'm myself holding me back. Like when it comes to finances, I would say surrendering. I like to control. And I know it's not godly to say Capricorn, but baby, I'm a Capricorn. And like, I like to be like, okay, where's my money? And where's my money going? And when you're an entrepreneur, it gets crazy when it comes to that. So, versus when you are working a regular, like corporate or 9 to 5 or something, you get a steady paycheck, right? Like, you know what you're getting every week, every other week, whatever. The hardest part about being an entrepreneur for me and being like how I am with money is the fact that I don't know what I'm getting. Like every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, what we get today? What we doing? Because things change and shift. And so you have to learn how to roll and punch with it and do this and do that. And so me releasing my control, when God put me in entrepreneurship, he put me in a place where I have to release my control and I have to fully depend on him. Mm-hmm. It's not something I can go and be like, okay, well, I got money coming next week, because I don't. Like, I don't have a steady job. Every day I'm depending on God to send me clients. I'm depending on God to send me money. I'm depending on God to make sure I'm getting what I need to get. This is a faith-based occupation, literally. And it can literally drive you crazy. If you do not trust God in this fully, it will drive you crazy. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's the release. It's also the release and the control. And sometimes I like to still sit there and control it a little bit, because I like to know. You know what I'm saying? We like to know. And so sometimes I sit there and I am trying to control this, and God is like, it ain't gonna work until you release it to me. It ain't gonna work until you surrender it. Like, until you surrender and get in alignment, it ain't gonna work.
It's like, once you surrender it, it's just like, boom, there it is, like right there in front of your face. And you be like, so I did all of this stressing and tripping. And true. Like, crashing out over something that God has already, like, prepared you for. And I think that's something, like, part of the threshold, like, when we're right there just at our breakthrough. Like, we can feel it and we know it's coming, but it's like we're anticipating on what's going to happen. Yeah. And it's just like, we got to get out of that mindset. If God said he was going to do it, if God promised you, then if God promised you those things or whatever it is in your life, he's already done it. He's going to do it. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. If he wasn't going to promise you that, then he would have never told you those things. But if he told you he was going to do it, and he's showing you that he's going to do it, then you have to trust and believe that it's already done. And you just really have to walk into knowing that it's already done. It's already handled. Like, it's already there. So you just got to move accordingly.
Absolutely. And you don't have to worry about the how. That's one of the things you got to just stop doing. Stop trying to worry about the how. A lot of times we ain't going to know the how. And we can't try to put God in a box and say, well, he did it last time, or he did it like this for them. So, he probably going to do it like you. Listen.
You can't focus on the how.
God ain't going to. Yeah. And God is going to do. Let me tell you something. God is so funny. He will do, you will think he going one way, he will go a completely opposite way.
A different route. And you just sitting there like, I was not expecting that.
Exactly. Like, so you gotta just release the control, release the wanting to know how, when, and where, and how, and all that.
Because if he calls you to it, then he's gonna bring you through it.
Absolutely.
That's just all that it is to it.
So what's one bold move that you can take this week to step through for your promised land? Your own personal. I mean, do you mind telling them what your promised land is? Or if you have a promised land? I mean, we transparent here.
I know, but I feel like it's just too many. You mean promised land?
Pick one. Like,
okay,
pick
you
up.
talking about, like, as my purpose?
Yeah, like, so your promised land, like, what are you at the threshold of trying to break through? Something that you have been waiting for to enter into?
I would say I could go with this one. It's very transparent. So
It's okay, girl. Tell me the truth.
Okay. Not too much. So I have a court date coming up in a couple of months, and it was based off of a decision that I made financially. It was a decision that I had made 3 years ago, but around the same time, I feel like it worked in a way because I was sick and I was dealing with a lot of issues with my heart. And, you know, I ended up having surgery to where now that decision, it has came back to where I'm dealing with a lot of, I'm not going to say issues, but it's just more so to where it's like I had I'm dealing with stuff from Virginia to where I have to really sit and take care to where like it's hindering my finances. And so I've been praying and trusting God, you know, and I've been praying, and don't get me wrong, like God showed me the vision throughout this whole entire situation. And so now it's just like I'm trusting him, but I just feel in my spirit that I know like when I go to court, it's going to be everything that he promised to be. It's just the matter of dealing with the back end. And so dealing with the back end, like being very real with you, like yesterday I was so frustrated, like I was so mad. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I honestly wanted to put my religion down for a second, and I really wanted to go square up. Like I wanted to drive to Virginia and square up with them people real bad. Like I'm so serious. I wanted to square up. Like I was so livid because just like, first of all, you ain't get no permission to do this. Second of all, you're not even supposed to do that because it's against the law. So now it's just like, how am
they doing the most?
Yeah, like now you're doing the most. Like, what if that was all I had? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that was? But you know, God still provides, and God still do what he do. But just know, when my court date comes, I'm gonna be like another Olivia Pope. No, I'm just playing.
Oh my God.
I'm just playing. But I would say that's just one of like the barriers that I'm in. But I know like when that God, I would say, I don't want to say he allowed it to happen, but it had to happen for a reason, to change my perspective on a lot of things, but to mainly like, I know it's just a test to see if I really trust him or not. And I do trust him a lot. Even when it comes to walking in my purpose, I know my purpose is ministry, is for people, is to help people, is to guide people, is to help free people, is to show the goodness of God. I know that's what my purpose is. My purpose is ministry, like ministry with people, like dealing with people. And whether it's, you know, suicidal ideation, whether it's anxiety, depression, whether it's different things, I know my purpose is to help people. That's always been my life. That's just who I am as a person. But I know that's my calling. And so now it's just like, even when people, I don't want to say like do me wrong, or even I'm learning to, even when people can be very ill-mannered, I still have to still give them grace and still treat them the way that God wants us to treat them.
Absolutely.
And you know, if we're being very transparent, that can be hard for me sometimes because it's a lot of things that I just don't tolerate. I don't tolerate rude people. It really bothers my spirit real bad. Like, it bothers my spirit to the point to where sometimes I just be wanting to have to, you know. But I'm learning to really give them grace. But I know, again, that's going to be part of my purpose. Like, how can I be fully into ministry if I can't even sit here and give people grace? That's not ideal. Yeah. That's not even ideal. So yeah, I would have to say those are like the barriers, is to really work on those things, and trust in God. What are yours?
So, a bold move that I'm gonna take.
Why is you talking about?
A bold move that I am going to take this week. Well, I've actually already started. So I started this week, and that was to be consistent in my posting and my content. So I've always started, and then I stop when I don't see like the views or what I want to see on my stuff. I always stop, and I'm like, okay, Christina, how you even expect to grow if you never if you're never consistent? What have you really been consistent on? When I talk to myself, that's how I'm like, you're not consistent, baby. Like, so how do you expect to see something from not being consistent?
Right.
And so I was like, okay, so this week I have literally posted, let me see, I'm on my 3rd day being consistent. Ooh.
Man, we're proud of you.
Yes. I'm on my 3rd day, and it's actually, it starts to build you too. Like when you do it, it starts to build you up, and you're like, okay, I can do this. And so I'm in that phase now, and I'm going to continue. I'm not going to say I'm going to fall off. No, I'm going to continue to be in that phase, and I'm going to continue to post regardless. Mm-hmm. And I already have in my mind state that I have 1.3 million followers. So yeah, you can hold this as a prophecy if you like.
And I commend you though, because honestly, like when it comes to me doing content, I said I want to get back into my fashion bag. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if we're being transparent, the Lord has really been dealing with me. Like, well, some people know I used to dance. So I danced for like 20 years. Professionally, like a good 5. Mm-hmm. But after my surgery, I haven't danced. Maybe like after my surgery, I only had like 1 performance. It was like a tourist thing. But other than that, outside of like doing homecoming and dance and stuff like that, for real, I didn't really dance. But I felt in my spirit to where for my birthday, I said I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
And I guess y'all gonna be the first to hear it. So I asked one of our friends, B.
Oh, okay.
I asked her, so I want to do a dance visual for my birthday, but it's going to be Christian based. And the song, it really reflects my life.
Oh, that'll be good.
And I just know that it's going to minister to so many people. And I know my mind, I be like, man, I got to get back in the studio. I got to get back in the studio. I got to get back to dancing. And what I wanted to do was get back into like heels and stuff like that. But God was like, no, we're going to revamp it. And you know, we're going to deter you from that and do what you're called to do.
Well, that's good. You should step into that.
Yeah, so that's what I guess that is another barrier to do.
Okay.
But when it comes to content and stuff like that, you know, it's like I have a creative, like we both very creative. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But for me, it's just like when I have a creative side, it's just all of the, you know what I mean? Like I like to lay down. I be tired sometimes.
Oh God,
so,
girl! When I say girl, get up.
Trying to get up early in the morning. I've had people ask about doing. This was an encouragement for me, so thanks. People asked me. I had put a video up on my TikTok that was about me passing my RMA exam, and ever since then, I've been getting DMs or people asking me for more content about like how is it actually working in my field, my career. And there's days where I want to get up early enough, way early, to film and record how I get there, but
you just be tired.
I be tired and I get up late and then it'd just be too late. But I said,
and that goes into shifting your language. Guys.
I know. So after I did say that, after me and God had this locked in moment, I was going to be consistent on that. There are certain protocols, of course, that I do have to follow by with the organization that I work for. Yeah. I honestly don't know how the girlies be doing it when they be recording their work. I just ain't got there yet, and I can't do that. You
gotta be careful too, because it's a lot of laws.
Plus I don't want nobody knowing where. I mean, you ain't gonna really know where I work now unless you go there. But it's just different things. So yeah.
All right, so we just wanted to we're gonna close on out, and we just want to encourage you that I don't know if you feel it, but I feel it in my spirit that we have shifted. Literally, we have shifted in the spirit. A lot of us. I don't know what season you are in, but there are people that have shifted in the spiritual realm, and you know exactly what I mean. You feel it, you know it deep down, and you are at the threshold of something so new and something so brand new. And I want you to know that the things that you went through, the situations, they were not wasted. They were a part of the process, and they were needed as a tool for where you are getting ready to go. And the most important part right now is for you to stay locked in on God. What comes to mind, the scripture, is when Peter was on the boat and God called to him and told him to come out on the water. And as long as he kept his eyes on God,
he didn't sink.
He did not sink. And but the moment his focus shifted,
that's when
he started to sink. But even though he sunk, God still had his hand ready to grab him up.
Look at you.
So I want you to remember that scripture, because I always put that deep down in my heart, because I know how important it is to keep our eyes on God, even though everything around us looks like chaos. Trust the process, surrender, and stay in alignment with God. Stay focused on Him, and He will definitely put you where you need to go. This is a message for me too, not just for you, but for me.
It's for all of us. Yes. And I want to give you guys this song. It's so funny because me and my best friend, we were coming back from the beach, and she just, we were listening to the song she had on the playlist. I'm really upset. I need to talk to the man that created the song.
Oh.
Like, now, Bishop, why you don't got this on Apple Music no more? Because that's where she played it from, but I had to play it from YouTube. But when y'all have a chance, go to YouTube, and it's Bishop Brandon Jacobs. And it's the Ignite 2 Live. His song, God Always Works It Out, live.
Oh, wow.
We were listening to that, and it just ministered to us like so heavy in our spirit, to where like I just couldn't even, it was just in my spirit the whole week, to where I just played that every morning to work, to where everything that I don't want to say stressing over, but the things that I was praying for, the things that I was worried about, whether I had to intercede on other people's behalf, just different things. I just started to continue to play that song. And when you hear that song, you're going to be like, yo, it's going to give you the encouragement that you need for the week. So I encourage you to actually listen to the whole album on YouTube, but really listen to that song. And also, Wait On You by Elevation Worship Music with Chandler Moore. Listen to those 2 songs, and I'm telling you, like, your mindset will really shift. It will shift.
Absolutely. And I'm going to leave you with these last words of encouragement. You are not standing here by accident. Everything you've learned, every delay, every challenge, it all brought you here. The promised land isn't a faraway dream. It's on the other side of your next bold step. The threshold is not a wall. It's a door. Walk through. I hope something that we said encouraged you. You got something else you want to say?
No, just have a great week.
Yes, have an amazing week. Don't forget the scriptures, the songs she said, and make sure you take a bold step, whatever that is, even if it's little. The little things count too. They add to the big thing. So, yes, we hope to see you next week. We hope you enjoy. Leave your comments, your questions, any kind of topics you'd like to know.
Like, share, subscribe, please. Like, share, subscribe, and also really follow us on our social media pages. Follow us on Instagram and follow us on TikTok.
And what are those?
Hear you back.
Do you know?
Sorry. You know it's crazy.
Do you know them?
Our Instagram is Faith Talks Podcast. And for our TikTok is Faith Talks and Lip Gloss Podcast.
Absolutely.
So,
and make sure you subscribe and like and comment.
Yes. And tell a friend, and tell your auntie, your cousins, all of them.
All of that. All right. Until next time.
See ya.
Have faith, believe in your source, and that you are no mistake. Stand by your words, never over